This map displays the current footprint of the United States military. Right now, American forces are stationed in over 170 countries, costing taxpayers upwards of $800 billion every single year. This reality stands in direct opposition to the country's founding principles. The early leaders of the United States warned that the nation should avoid foreign entanglements to keep from being pulled back into the wars of the Old World. For over a century, that advice was largely followed. Through the 1930s, the United States maintained a strict isolationist stance, working to stay out of the conflicts beginning to consume Europe and Asia. It is a strange contradiction. A population that crossed an ocean to escape empires eventually constructed the most powerful military force in human history. Isolationism ended on December 7, 1941. The attack on Pearl Harbor immediately pulled America into a two-front global war. To fight it, America mobilized its industry at a scale no one had ever seen. Factories produced aircraft, tanks, and artillery so rapidly that American output eventually exceeded the total production of all the Axis powers combined. By 1945, Europe and Asia were devastated. This left a global power vacuum that only the United States, now the sole nuclear-armed superpower, was capable of filling. American leaders designed a new global architecture to prevent another collapse. They funded the rebuilding of Europe through the Marshall Plan and established the International Monetary Fund and the United Nations. But creating a global order meant accepting the burden of defending it. By building this system, America committed to deploying its military anywhere on Earth to protect that specific arrangement. During the Cold War, this defensive posture evolved into a proxy struggle against Soviet communism. From Vietnam to Nicaragua, American weapons and lives were committed to checking Soviet influence globally. When the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991, some expected military spending to drop. Instead, American policymakers expanded their goals, taking on the responsibility of policing human rights worldwide. Then came the September 11th attacks, triggering 20 years of military intervention throughout the Middle East. Swift initial victories soon dissolved into grinding counterinsurgencies. The Iraq War cost hundreds of thousands of lives and destabilized the region for a generation. In Afghanistan, a $2 trillion effort ended with the Taliban retaking the country in just 11 days. Despite exhaustion from the Middle East, America is managing multiple global conflicts simultaneously, each with the potential to define the coming century. In Ukraine, the United States is managing a proxy war against Russia. Washington has provided billions in advanced weaponry, viewing a Russian victory as a direct threat to the European security order established after 1945. At the same time, the Middle East remains volatile. America backs Israel financially while trading strikes with Iranian-backed militias in Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. In the Pacific, China is rapidly modernizing its navy and constructing military installations on artificial islands across the South China Sea. While Taiwan is a democratic ally, its primary strategic value is economic. The island produces over 90% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. A shift in control would give Beijing authority over the most critical choke point in the global technology supply chain. This raises a question many Americans are asking. Why continue to risk lives and resources in conflicts that feel entirely disconnected from the homeland? This map helps visualize why current American wealth relies on the predictability of global trade. The U.S. military provides the security necessary for those sea lanes and financial systems to function. This economic security is reinforced by a web of mutual defense treaties. Breaking these inherited commitments would invite the kind of regional aggression that eventually threatens the American economy directly. There is also the cost of inaction. For 70 years, the dominant theory in Washington was that sudden withdrawal creates chaos, costing the United States more than the price of staying engaged. But the bill for that engagement is heavy. Since 2001, the financial cost has surged past $8 trillion, alongside 7,000 American military lives lost and 50,000 wounded. The human cost in the regions where America fights is drastically higher. Across Libya, Syria, and Iraq, the legacy of intervention is a landscape of fractured, failing states. After 20 years of continuous warfare, the world, and specifically the Middle East, is actually more volatile and unpredictable today than it was before the interventions began. This has led to a crisis of faith at home. Many are now asking if military force is even capable of solving the political and social problems America keeps trying to fix. America is currently struggling to find its place in a fragmented, multipolar world that no longer resembles the clean vacuum of 1945. The country faces two dangerous options. If it chooses to act, the world feels the destruction. If it decides to step back, the pressure on the global system could cause the entire structure to fracture. Whether the United States maintains or abandons its role as the global policeman is the single decision that will define the future of the international order.